Rookies are going up and down in value by the second. News breaks on a player, or we're seeing one rookie look better than another rookie. We see J.K. Dobbins come into the running back room, and we freak out, or we don't freak out in Denver. And then you've got Hampton looking better, but he's got Najee, same thing as Dobbins, but it's the order of things. You know, J.K. comes in later, people freak out. Najee's sitting there, no one cares. And you got to react to that. You got to know what is the appropriate reaction. And if the rest of the fantasy football world is reacting and overreacting, then you know to step back and say, I'm going to clean up on this one. We'll talk about RJ Harvey, Shador, Genty, Igbuka. Luther Burden is in the news the last handful of days, and it's not good. That means that Dunze is going up in value and Luther Burden's going down in value. We got a whole bunch more to cover. We're going to pretty much try and tackle every major rookie, from tight ends to quarterbacks to obviously running backs and wide receivers. And I'm going to tell you whether their value's gone down since NFL draft day, or really even the entirety of the offseason, and whether I agree with it or whether I don't. So we'll tackle it all right now. Someone says Harvey's a bust. Yeah, don't listen to that. The Fantasy Football Show, buy low on Harvey season, begins right now. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Let's start off with Genty and just say that Genty's the biggest name in fantasy football rookie content. He's maybe one of the biggest names in fantasy football, period. You've got a guy in Genty that's going to be a top 5 running back in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Do we have the volume? Is the volume still good? I think the volume is good. You've got Genty, capable of being the number 1 overall Dynasty player in Genty if you wanted. You could easily make that case. If somebody said Genty's my 1.1 in a Dynasty startup, I'm not batting an eye. Neither should you. And if you laugh at that, you don't know ball. If someone wants to do that. Now, I'm not saying I don't take Jamar Chase. I'm not saying I don't take Bijan Gibbs. I love those guys, obviously. I'm not a moron. At least I'm not a moron all the time. But Genty has clearly gone up. We all know that. If you've got a pulse and you've been doing Underdog, promo code Smitty, and we'll be drafting tonight. So make sure you hit this link. I'll drop it in the live chat. If you don't sign up now, you're not going to get into the draft tonight. So just do it real quick. It takes 2 minutes. They'll match your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 at a 50% rate. So if you drop 50, they give you 25. You drop the minimum of 10, they'll give you $5. You drop 2,000, they'll give you 1,000. So get on over there. But Genty has been going up like a mad dog. This is a guy that early on was getting drafted probably around 12 to, 15? Early on. January, mock drafts or whatever the hell you want to talk about. Early underdog drafts, he was going in this territory. And then his landing spot flipped him into like a 11. I'd say 11 to like 13 territory on the regular. This is Genty. And then now Genty recently has climbed so high. 6 to 8 probably is his current ADP. And the most recent comment from Pete Carroll doesn't seem to be moving things back downward like maybe some had hoped or thought could happen. When Pete Carroll came out the other day and said, I'm not going to rely on one running back. And that didn't scare anybody. It just didn't. First of all, there's no one on roster. Mostert. There's a couple other, I guess, solid names. Could they withstand a lot of work? Probably not. So I don't think anybody's worried for that reason. But I think people are also sold on that Genty is the man. He is one of the best prospects, if not the best running back prospect to come out of college since Barry Sanders, or maybe even ever. And some people don't like that. Some people have put a receipt out there saying Genty's going to not be good. You watch, you wait and see. And then they haven't adjusted and adapted. They haven't said, you know what, maybe I was a little harsh on Genty. Let me swing back around and get on the train. Is there room on the train, Smitty? Please let me on the train. People don't do that. People are double down Donnies. They're scared Scotties. I put a receipt out there, Roger, and I don't want to look like I'm a flip-flopper. I'm not a flipping Freddy. So they don't like changing their mind. But Genty's not going anywhere. This is a 6 to, maybe that comment makes him 6 to 9, let's say. But we're still having people take him at 6, so it doesn't really impact his ceiling ADP range. But Genty's fine. And so my whole, sum total, what I'm going to do here tonight is tell you whether the values have gone up for people that are getting back into fantasy right now. And even if you've been here the whole time, this is a great topic, because I'm also going to tell you whether I believe that the value should stay where it is, whether they need to drop back down for me to get back in, and whether I think that it's a steal. Would I still reach a little higher or take them at this territory? So it's all going to be very useful, whether you're jumping back into fantasy all of a sudden and you haven't been here all offseason, or if you've been here, you want to know what I'm thinking about these players. So end of the day, I'm going to say this. I Smitty approve his 6 to 9 ADP. And I completely feel that if push came to shove, I could easily take him in the top 5 overall. Now, that's only one spot roughly, but it gives you, even top 4 to 5. I could argue it, especially in a, obviously, dynasty, I could take him 1. But in a redraft, I could Smitty approve top 4 to 5 overall value. Now, would I draft him, more than occasionally over Gibbs and Bijan in a redraft? No. Mainly because I do so many drafts that I can get my Genty consumption in a big range of 5 to 10, right? Whereas Gibbs, Bijan, Barkley, Jamar Chase, Lamb, even JJ, those guys go in the top 5. So you have to have a top 5 pick, and sometimes you need to have specifically a top 2 or 3 pick to get Bijan or Gibbs in a running back hungry home league, non-best ball league. So you have to take your chances at Gibbs and Bijan when you get the 1, 2, 3, 4 overall pick, or you're not going to get any shares. Whereas the range of getting Genty so big, 5 to 10, 5 to 12, depending on the draft that you're in and the league you're in, you get a lot of opportunities. Take those opportunities. Don't pass on the Gibbs. And so that's going to be my sum total of Genty. Smitty approved the 6 to 9 rise in ADP. He deserves it. Would I pay even a higher price tag? Yes, I would. That's Genty. And then next up, let's real quickly jump from running back over to wide receiver. And I want to talk about a guy that's negatively in the news right now in Luther Burden. Luther Burden is a player I really, really, really liked walking into this 2025 NFL draft. I mean, he was my number 3 wide receiver above Ted McMillan, and I still believe talent-wise he's better. But the problem is he landed in a crap situation, and now he's injured, and he's missed time. And while Ben Johnson might be trying to light a fire underneath this young man, he said some pretty negative things about him. And he went to the podium, answered reporter questions and beat writer questions, and said that he's missed time. And then when you miss time, you miss the ability to grow and mature quickly. And your teammates can't learn to trust you if you're not on the field. And your coaches can't learn to trust you when you're not on the field. And that he missed a lot. And it's stuff you can't make up. Ben Johnson pretty much chastised him in front of everybody. And so Odunze now goes up in value quite a bit. Luther Burden's ADP, it's hard to even predict where it's going to be now in redraft. All I can tell you is I would still take stabs because it's so late as my wide receiver. We're talking about Burden. I'd take wide receiver. So we'll put Burden here so you're not confused. Burden, I'd take him as a wide receiver like 5 to 7 pretty easily because of where he can get to later. Odunze is a potential wide receiver 2 to 3. Obviously, the later you get him, the less risk. So 3 is good. But Odunze is going to climb over him very, 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 very quickly. It's going to happen fast. Because Burden's been out. And Ben Johnson's moving on right now. I'm not saying he doesn't circle back. Keep in mind, this is Ben Johnson's boy. He drafted him. He wanted him to be his St. Brown. He could still develop in the slot and develop really quickly. And his skill set is amazing. But it's definitely a Odunze stepping up season. And hopefully, Odunze is able to do that. So Luther Burden, I'm not ecstatic about right now, given how much time he's missed. But we'll circle back on that. This other guy Agbuka has been going up in value like crazy. But the truth is, his ADP is still very reasonable, and it's so, I don't know, hard to figure out why he isn't climbing into a higher ADP. He will. He'll definitely climb. But when we look at the ADP rankings over on Underdog, and I sort by wide receiver, this guy is a complete steal. Emeka Egbuka is going at number, it's going below Debo, going below Matthew Golden, going below Ayuk, who's out for maybe half the year. Definitely starting on PUP. We'll see how long. Ayuk, Cooper Kupp's above him. Egbuka's number 93 overall in a redraft in best ball where wide receivers overemphasize, so you know that you're getting him in the 100 plus range in your grandma league. This is a guy that could be every bit as good as a Dunze as a rookie. So you're talking about a wide receiver 2-3. This is a guy that could be your wide receiver 5 or 6 that can play like a 2-3. And you can cuff him very easily to Jalen McMillan, the other wide receiver on Tampa that's a good side cuff. A cuff of wide receivers is never a great business to get into, but this is an interesting one. So I think Egbuka, not only is his value climbed a lot, that's climbing. Getting the 93 overall is climbing, but people like him. They're excited about him. In Dynasty, obviously, he's going to go so much higher, but he's still undervalued in Dynasty. I would take Egbuka as high as number 6 overall in a rookie-only draft right now, and his ADP is probably more along the 8 or 9. Some might say if they like him a lot, they could take him 7 and surprise some people. But 8, 9, and 10 is where you're probably traditionally going to get Egbuka right now, and he belongs in the top 5 to 6. That's how good he is. He could be the number 1 drafted Tampa Bay wide receiver 1 calendar year from today over Mike Evans, over Godwin. This could be the guy. He's electric. He's got amazing hands. He's lived in crowded wide receiver rooms, and as hard as this is for someone to understand, they don't know what I'm talking about. He's been in more crowded and more talented wide receiver rooms in college than he is right now in Tampa Bay. So he lives and thrives and is molded, sculpted by the darkness like Bane. I mean, we might just call Egbuka Bane because he is Bane. He's had to adapt to the darkness, and he's risen up every time. And he's got Baker, touchdown maker, throwing him the rock. And Baker looks fantastic, and their rapport is exactly what you'd want Burden's rapport to be with Caleb. Well, Baker's got it with Egbuka, and he looks unreal. He's playing the part. Don't tell anybody, but I would pay wide receiver, high-end wide receiver 3 value when you only have to pay. He's wide receiver 50. Wide receiver 50. I'd easily pay high-end wide receiver 3 value, but don't tell anybody.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Okay, let's see here. Egbuka, not to be a nerd, but Batman adapted to the dark. Bane was born in it. That's, well, whatever. Egbuka's both. You don't even know. No one even knows whether he's born in the dark, adapted to the dark, whatever the case may be. We've got another player to talk about. This guy's been in Panic City. Anybody that says something negative about Harvey, like he's a bust, he's toast, those are people that put their receipt out there early. They've been very nervous about it. Nervous Neds. Just completely nervous. It's so clear. If I was a Harvey hater, I'd just be quiet. I'd just sit there in silence, because the moment you say something ridiculous and very embarrassing your own mom. Your mom's embarrassed of your comment. When someone says something like, Harvey's going to bust, or Harvey's no good, or Harvey's toast, JK season, 99 out of 100 of those people were against Harvey already. They're just really loud now. They're just saying it loud now because they're not scared Scotties and aren't hiding in the shadow, frightened, shaking because they made these bad claims about Harvey, and they're just frightened in the corner. Frightened Freddies. Now they're bold. They come out. They got the bullhorn. They just got it out for Harvey. They always have had it out for Harvey, though. And the Harvey believers or the people on the fence are seeing all these people scream from the rooftops. By the way, I don't know if anybody's noticed what's in the corner. You guys know we used to do Scooter live streams. Raise your hand, put a thumb up emoji. Raise your hand. Who here? Brandon's making it known that he's one of them. That one of them Harvey haters. Thank you, Brandon, for raising your hand. Anybody remember Scooter live stream? Raise your hand if you were here during the Scooter live streams. We're upgrading it. We're not doing Scooter live streams anymore. We're doing moped live streams, and we're doing it live. I don't know when. Might be tonight, might be tomorrow. But Moped City, baby. Scooter, we're upgrading Scooter. Who needs a scooter? Scooters are for babies. We go moped style, baby. Electric moped, do it live.
Let him cook.
So we'll be on the streets of Phoenix very, very soon on the moped. Can't wait. You guys are gonna, those that don't know what the Scooter live streams are about, you're gonna find out. So anyway, the Harvey haters are out of the woodwork. They're out from the shadows. They're scared. They're still scared to death because they put so much bad like vibes out there on Harvey, and now they're doubling down because there's a little bit of a window of opportunity to say something negative about Harvey. Oh, I've always been, yeah, Harvey told you he was going to bust. You've been quiet for weeks. J.K. Dobbins, most injury-prone running back in the entire National Football League. Most injury-prone running back in the National Football League. If he gets the work that impedes upon Harvey, then he's going to get injured. And if he doesn't get the work that impedes upon Harvey, then he's a fantastic cuff, and Harvey's going to ball. Sean Payton's already told all the Harvey haters what he's doing, and the Harvey haters don't want to listen. They say things like J.K. Dobbins season, who's a great cuff. He's one of the better cuffs in fantasy. They just they don't hear Sean Payton. Sean Payton's been crystal clear. He's a 3-down back. He's going to be out there on 3rd downs. We drafted him in the 2nd round for a reason. Hey, what do you think about J.K. Dobbins? Sean Payton responds, the draft is the lifeblood of this team. And people don't hear him, and that's okay. I love it. It's fine. You can think J.K. Dobbins is taking Harvey's job, and in a worst case scenario, when they have, let's say, a split, and let's say they start off with a split, that's fine. That's actually a good blessing in disguise. Same thing with Hampton, because it allows said player to maybe avoid a rookie wall. If Hampton's getting full-time work, let's say week 5, 6 on, but getting good work in weeks 1 through 4, very flex-worthy volume at the very least, maybe low-end running back 2 numbers. We're a little bit disappointed that Hampton's not getting all the carries, but he looks great. We're a little disappointed that Harvey's not getting all the carries, but he looks fantastic. And we say, imagine if he got 5 more carries. Imagine if he didn't get sniped on that touchdown right there. We're going to come out of weeks 1 through 4 feeling maybe like that if in a worst-case scenario. For Hampton, for Harvey, for Hendy, for Judkins, for Caleb Johnson, all of them are in sharing situations that are very similar to one another. All of them. So if someone says Hampton's not going to share work the same way that Harvey is, you're a Harvey hater. You're a Harvey hater. At least admit it. At least admit it, because there's no difference between... In fact, JK's never missed a game. JK's probably going to get some goal line work over JK getting goal line work, because JK was pitiful and putrid at the goal line last year. That's why the Chargers actually threw a ton at the goal line, surprisingly, more than Harbaugh would ever be projected to, because they couldn't run the ball, and J.K. Dobbins was trash. After his first 2 games, which he was very good, he was averaging 3.8 yards per carry. After the first 2 games, for the rest of the season, he was at 3.8. People don't know what they're talking about. They tell their narrative and spin it the way they want. I have an agenda, and that's hating Harvey, so here you go. Now, JK's still a good cuff. No doubt about it. And JK could take half the work like Najee could take half the work, like Ramondre could potentially take half the work. I don't think that all of those guys will face that. I think one could. But even if all of them did, they're all going to benefit in week 6 on because they'll be fresh. And the rookie wall will be something that they can avoid, or they can avoid. So Harvey, to me, once, he obviously, there's like 3 different ways to look at Harvey. There's here, if this is a graph, this is January, this is April, and this is now, which is June. So Harvey, and this is like a 10, this is a 0, this is a 5 in terms of fantasy value, let's say, out of 10. So Harvey was like right here, and people were getting him as a steal, in fantasy. You could even say lower than that. April draft comes, he gets drafted to the Denver Broncos. Boom, Harvey goes up to at least like an 8 or a 7 out of 10, right? He's flying high. J.K. Dobbins is signed. Harvey takes a bath. He's right around probably a 5 again. And the thing is, you're buying him in this 5 territory where he easily could earn this back in a sharing role. If he shared carries all year long or rotated with JK, he would earn this value. So you're buying at a cost of entry that bakes in every bit of risk, but you hear somebody in the corner going, hey, Harvey's so bad, JK season. We had a guy in here that would say estimate season all the time. I forget who it is. We'll see him in here. And then as soon as JK signed, JK season, just flopping in the wind, Freddie. This is packaging in every bit of risk. The truth of the matter is Harvey's got the same value he had, which is like an 8 or 9 out of 10 in terms of fantasy football upside. And if he reaches that, this is where you win your league. If he doesn't reach that, you earn your value. Harvey is the lowest risk running back 1 proposition that gives you flex value at cost of entry, but running back 1 value, in my opinion, if all goes well, which I believe it will. His coach loves him. He can be a great pass protector in this league because he has all of the attributes to be a good pass protector in the NFL. Aggression, smarts, drive, determination, strength. He's a bull. He's so strong. Sean Payton even said he's a big guy. He's short, but he's big. He's massive. He has Saquon Barkley quads. Don't think so? Oh, yeah. Go look. You obviously don't know. If you're laughing at the Saquon Barkley reference and the way he powers through the line is very Saquon Barkley. Like, if you laugh at that or think that's a joke, you don't even know what you're talking about with Harvey. You haven't even watched him. I can tell you haven't watched him. Harvey is one of and will remain one of the biggest steals in fantasy because of his capability of getting bought at 5 out of 10 value on a 0 to 10 value chart, let's say, but being able to be an 8 or a 9 out of 10 in terms of production. Harvey is 100% Smitty approved on his previous value, which was 4th round value before JK. Loved it. Win a league in the 4th round without JK. Can absolutely win a league in round 5, 6, where he's dropping to now. And who knows how far down round 6 he goes. Grandma leagues, he might go in round 7. I predict, in fact, we'll hear a lot of people cycle on in August and in September if JK doesn't get injured by then. And they'll say, Smitty in the chat, I got Harvey in round 7. I got Harvey at 6.10. I got Harvey here and there. And we're all just going to be like, Grandma League? Is that an 8-man league? We'll be throwing around the jokes left and right. Harvey will be stolen all year long, and my people will be doing the thievery. So, Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Now, the next player that's been going up in value, and we'll talk about this guy now. So much hatred around Shedeur. Shedeur looks fantastic right now. He's clearly the best quarterback in Cleveland by a country mile. And granted, they're going to do more complicated stuff. The pads, everything's going to maybe change the game. But, I mean, look at this. The Browns are in love with him. Coaching staff walking up to him left and right. Your placement is just outstanding. He's throwing the ball where it needs to go. He's got the confidence of his team. He's brought humility to his situation. And people that think he hasn't don't know. They're just haters. They just love to hate him. He has been so humble in his role in Cleveland. Not outside, not wearing a legendary chain. I'm not saying when he goes back home to eat a meal at home with his dad that he doesn't get in strange, unhumble mode, whatever. But he's a humble kid in his role, taking his lumps, hasn't complained a single bit, went in and put the work in, and he looks amazing. And he is going to be one of the best comeback stories, and we told you about it. Everybody else has been ripping on the kid, telling you that he's going to be trash because they hate his dad. Well, Shedeur is going to show everybody what's up, and in Superflex leagues, his value is climbing, but not enough. In Superflex leagues, he's a very, very low-end QB2, probably more of a QB3. When you're scooping up QB3s, he's available in Superflex. So he's a Superflex gold mine. And if you wait on a quarterback, let's say, and you go quarterback in round 1, you take JD5, then in Superflex, you get back to non-quarterback drafting in rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you get to a point where Shedeur Sanders is sitting there, and you know you can still get him. You don't want to push it because you're risking the biscuit here at your second quarterback spot. You grab Shedeur. Shedeur will take care of you in Superflex. You can hit him with Milrow if you can. I take Milton, Milrow, and Shedeur. I sometimes take other Browns quarterbacks. You could take Flacco. There's a lot of ways to utilize Shedeur Sanders hate in Superflex. Now in non-Superflex, there's no way I'm drafting Shedeur unless it's Dynasty, and in Dynasty I'm picking him up left and right. He's available in a lot of Dynasty leagues because people love to hate him. So you do what you want. I speak about Shedeur all the time. He's such a value. He's such a good kid. And he's been a victim of his dad's situation and everything that goes along with it for so long. People can't see straight. And it's laughable to me. This man, Travis Hunter, has been skyrocketing in value. He's climbed into round 4. So 4th round right now. He was in rounds 9 through 11. Rounds 9 through 11 back in January. And we cleaned up. We told you. We cleaned up. People that drafted Travis Hunter as their wide receiver 6, 7, 8. Now he's going in the 4th round. Your underdog teams are ready to rumble.
Let him cook.
Up, down, left, right. BA select start.
Warning. Cheat code activated.
In a jam. Call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Hunter's been climbing boards fast, but deservedly so. And while we cleaned up in January, getting him in rounds 9 through 11, and we screamed it from the rooftops, people are kind of having that syndrome of, oh, I missed out already, so I can't possibly, benefit now, right? Wrong. Because he can be top 12 to 15 overall production-wise. He can be a top 12 to 15 you heard me, as a rookie, a 12 to 15 overall producer. So he could more than double his return on investment from the 4th round, especially if you get him late in the 4th round. So I'm 100% on the Hunter train in round 4. And anybody that thinks just because they missed out on the 9-11 round territory and now he's climbed, because we told everyone that don't listen to the nonsense that he won't play wide receiver. He won't play Smitty. I'm just scared he's going to play DB. People still say that right now. They walk in and go, I'm a little concerned that he's going to play more DB than we'd like. And it's head scratching that they hear this stuff and they regurgitate it. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm here for the people that want to listen and not want to argue about, something they heard somewhere else. You can do it on your own time, because I'm not going to read it. We're here living in Travis Hunter's world, and he's going to explode. And you can either be on the train or not. The train's already left. If you're trying to catch up, it's moving fast. So good luck trying to find it.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Travis Hunter is probably one of my top 5 drafted players right now, saturation-wise. My exposure on Underdog has to be in the top 5 to 6 for Travis Hunter. Got the 1.1 in my home league. Am I wrong to want CD there? No. If you could trade down, it would get you something. So you got to look at that aspect of it. It's not about you being historically correct on it. It's that you're going to be historically correct and made out like a bandit by trying to move up something. Like move your 3rd round into the 2nd round. Move your 4th round, better yet, into the 3rd round, or your 5th round into the 4th, or your 5th round into the 3rd, and move down 2 spots or something, so you can get CD Lamb. And move into a spot where you get Lamb, JJ, or Jamar Chase. You get one of the 3 receivers. If receivers how you want to attack it. But I say go best player available. But I'd be as smart as I could be about getting that done. And make sure you're in a spot where you're happy if you end up getting sniped. But yeah, if you move your 5th rounder into the 3rd or 5th rounder to the 4th with that, you might be getting a Harvey, a Hendy, a Hunter, a JD5, a Josh Allen, a Lamar, something super significant, bro. And make sure you take something you couldn't have got by moving up, or if you didn't move up, that's how you have to make sure you play it. Make it worth something. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Hunter to the moon. Hunter is a Jupiter man for a reason.
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
Jupiter man. Jupiter man. Jupiter man. They're also supernovas, all 3. All 4 of these guys are supernovas and Jupiter men. These rookies are the ones. And just so people say, Smitty, you just put all rookies on your board. I didn't. This is a doubted rookie here to a degree. He has less doubt today than he did yesterday and the day before. But Hendy's not been somebody that's on everyone's, breakout board. Some people think he'll bust. Some people hate his situation. Hendy's for sure one of the more underrated players, has been in this rookie pool. Harvey's clearly doubted by more people than love him. So this is not just throwing rookies on the board like throwing mud at the wall. Hunter's been doubted the whole entire time until right now, and people still doubt him. So these 2 calls right here, if I'm picking 4 rookies, and Igbuka's the 5th one, but I'm picking 3 of the 5 are underrated and doubted. Igbuka's not ahead. No one has Igbuka higher than I do. People have Ted McMillan over Igbuka 9 times or 10 times out of 10. This channel is not just throwing mud at the wall. It's Igbuka, it's Hunter, it's Harvey, it's Hendy, and Genty. Genty, we've been on the Genty train forever.
The Saturn Men.
Knicks love the guy.
Step for man.
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Igbuka.
Mars man.
And yes, Hampton's phenomenal as well. No one's forgetting about Hampton. He's looking better every day too.
Loads dropping.
This is a great rookie class. Valued rookie class. And let me make something abundantly clear too. This wasn't doubted, this class, but it was once thought of to be, okay, it's good, it's got some good players, but there was about a year or 2 ago where people would say things like, I don't think there's going to be any good receivers. Igbuka's amazing. Hunter's amazing. It's got 1 or 2 running backs. The running backs grew into 3 or 4. Now it's an amazing running back class. So some of you keep messaging me, and I'm going to do a video on it, of should I get rid of all my 26 first rounders and picks, seconds, thirds, and just get right into the 2027 27 class. And my answer to that is it depends if you can get a high pick here. But if you're just throwing what likely could be good 2026 picks like a second or a first overall or a third overall to get a fifth or a sixth overall in 2027, you're wasting valuable time and taking gambles that you don't know are going to work out. So anybody saying, hey, just go get 27 picks, doesn't matter where they are, that's ridiculous advice. Go get a number 1 in 27? Sure. Absolutely. If you can figure out who the worst team in your league is, but they could also change their trajectory in the next year or so. So you got to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Thank you for that super chat. Again, that boy, appreciate you. Now, we've got Igbuka. We've got Hunter. We talked about Luther Burden. We can talk about Ted McMillan while we have the wide receiver convo going. And I like McMillan a lot. Real quickly, I'll just say Jalen Royals has been kind of going up a little bit since the beginning, but not much. And he's still a very nice pick. And there's no risk at all grabbing him in the 18th round, 17th round of a best ball draft. It's a little harder to roster him in a redraft. He's more of a monitor and wait and see. But if he gets more work, absolutely jump on top of the idea of picking him up. McMillan, don't hate the kid at all. I find it, kind of frustrating that a lot of people make me cut him down to size when they say you don't like him or he's better than this guy or whatever. I don't dislike him at all. I think he's got a lot of skills, and I always say that. I never tell you he's going to be a bust. I just tell you he's got a lot to work on, and if all goes right, which is a lot of things to go right, he can be a T. Higgins at best, in my opinion, which is good. Higgins is going 25 overall in best ball draft, so that is great company to be in. T. Higgins, McMillan, that's a great comp. I think, you probably need to be very, very careful if you're expecting him to be a BTJ, be a even Marvin Harrison Jr. Not last year. He can produce 808 like Marv did. I think that would be what we're kind of expecting, to be honest. Like maybe 6 to 8 touchdowns, 900 yards, something like that is what I'm expecting out of McMillan. In a situation where, let's be honest, Bryce Young's exciting. I'm excited for him. I'm rooting for him. Bryce Young's very, very fun to watch. And he's such a good story. And I love the kid. He's so fun to watch. Totally in Bryce Young's corner. But he's not exactly a for sure thing still. He's still working his way back. And you could almost say that, he's going to struggle to try and keep the momentum going more than it's going to be easy for him. So I think he can do it. I don't know who he's going to pick and target. This Carolina room might not be oversaturated in monster talent, but it is very crowded. You've got Adam Thielen, who's got the trust of Bryce Young. You've got Coker, who I think is, before they drafted McMillan, I thought he could be a potential breakout. So there's a lot of talent there. And then you got Horn, the other rookie that I love a ton. He is a player to monitor in Dynasty and maybe practice squad him. But this is a player that I think is getting a little overhyped. It's not that he can't be great someday. It's not that he can't be T. Higgins great. And that's still a great player. Is it elite? No. But is it great? Yeah, he could be great. That's me saying something really positive about McMillan. But I think it could be slow moving. I don't think it'll happen like people think. And the fact that he's got an ADP in redraft of the 4th round, sometimes the 3rd, is asinine. It's head scratching. It doesn't make a single bit of sense in a redraft setting to be drafting him at 4th round value, sometimes in round number 3. What are we doing? This is about as bad as accepting that Michael Pittman was a wide receiver 1 when your boy screamed from the rooftops, don't go there. I like McMillan. I'm not even saying he can't be the number 1 in Carolina by using the Pittman example, but the Pittman example is that it's crazy to expect him to produce 3-4 turn value as a rookie with Bryce Young still trying to prove himself and with the wide receiver room, how crowded it is. Thank you for the kind comment here. Nightmare says, Smitty, gonna win me money this year. Been listening to you from the beginning of the year. Attaboy, Nightmare. Appreciate you. Just draft smartly. Don't come in here and go, Smitty.
He's on a shuttle
I drafted
tomorrow.
every single
Mars
one
men.
of the Moon Men
The Moon Men.
and Mars Men on one team.
Modes in outer space.
And then you have no other players, and you come in and you think that's my advice. My advice is not to cram all that. Go watch this video if you haven't seen this already. The Chiefs are coming for everybody. Is Rice worth his ADP? You bet your bottom dollar he is. ADP, don't want anything to do with this McMillan ADP. I'm sorry. Doesn't mean I don't like him. I've already really hammered home that point. Just so you think I'm a hater on McMillan, I'm not. But he does not deserve to be a 3-4 turn player in redraft. Absolutely not.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Look at this bad boy. Scooter live streams are for children. For those that remember when I did Scooter live streams, those are for children. This is for men. This is electric moped city. And we're doing it live on the streets of Phoenix. I don't know when, if it'll be tonight or not. But get ready. I saw him go 16th the other day, Ted McMillan. It's crazy, bro. 16. That's insane. That's absolutely ludicrous, bro. I think we'll move on, and I'll definitely tackle other players as they're brought up on when the phone lines are open. But I'm gonna try and move through this quickly and try and get through the rest of these guys. Hendy's another player that we need to talk about real quickly. Hendy has gone up in value, most certainly, but it hasn't been a fast climb, really. He's kind of a 6-5 round player in redraft, and he's remaining in round 5. And let me just tell you right now, 5th round, this is league winning. League winning. Hunter in round 4 is league winning. Hendy in round 5 is league winning. Harvey in round 5 would be league winning, but Harvey's probably going into round 6, maybe round 7. League winning.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple
These
H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
These 3 guys are league winning, ladies and gentlemen. From left to right, Harvey's going in round 6, 7. Hendy round 5. Sometimes later, Hunter round 4, 5. League winning. Running back 1 capable, Harvey is. Running back 1 capable, Hendy is. As rookies, wide receiver 1 capable is Hunter. As a rookie, and none of these guys are costing you your first drafted player selection, your second drafted player selection. They're not going to be your third drafted player on your team. This is a 4th rounder in Hunter, a 5th rounder in Hendy, and a 6th or 7th rounder in Harvey. You can now execute upon the Triple H and Associates strategy really, really easily using your 6, 5, and 4. And in some cases, your 6 could be your 7 for Harvey. There's never been a better time to invest in the Triple H and Associates package than right now, because it's out there for the taking without touching your 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round picks. Who's not winning a league with this roster right here? Bijan, Irving, Rice, Hunter, Hendy, Harvey, Mahomes. Don't like going RB early? Don't worry. We got you. We got you. Let's put a wide receiver like Lamb Chops in this 1st round spot. That way you can feel a little bit better about looking at this bad boy. Let's put Kyron Williams in this 3rd round territory, because who doesn't like Kyron Williams in the 3rd round? Who doesn't like, I don't know, we could throw another player in there, Hall if you want, whatever, but we'll put Kyron there. Kyron's a fantastic 3rd round pick. Middle of the 3rd round is where his ADP is kind of going. Let me ask you a question. Who's not winning a championship with this team? Who's not winning mad cash with this squad right here? Lamb Chops in round 1, Bucky in round 2, Kyron in round 3, Travis Hunter round 4, Hendy in round 5, RJ Harvey round 6, Patrick Mahomes round 7. Throw a Dak Prescott in the 9 or 10 to stack with Lamb and have a bully QB situation going on. Who is not winning with this strategy? Please speak up right now or forever hold your peace.
Let him cook.
I mean, it's just, this is easy. This is like taking candy from a baby at this point. 5th round, Henderson. What are we doing? What are we doing back there? Harvey, Hendy, Genty. We've covered that. Hampton, we need to cover the Hampton value of round 3. You could easily talk me into very easily. And let me make this point abundantly clear. You'd have to take Hampton in round 3 if you wanted. And if you wanted to take H, and their intern H and Associates, let's say you wanted Hampton, you could do that and it wouldn't be a big deal at all. I kind of like it. You know, I'd definitely take a stab at this team at least a couple times. You know, I definitely like Kyron a lot, but this is a phenomenal squad. Imagine the quad H and Associates. H times 4 to the 4th power. Hampton, Hunter, Hendy, Harvey. Now you might say, Smitty, I thought you liked Harvey and Hendy. It's not about drafting who I like ahead of who I'm loving more. Like, it's not about taking Harvey over Hampton because I like, or Hendy over Hampton because I like him a little more. It's about getting away with what you can get away with. It's about smashing your league mates into a bunch of million little itty bitty pieces. And if there was going to be a 4th H, and maybe we add it, maybe we put Hampton on the side and it says, let me in, I want to be a partner. I want to be a partner of H and Associates. Maybe we do that on the HHH. In fact, let's see what it looks like. Let's see what it looks like.
Up, down, down. In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Maybe we put Hampton right here, and we just have a little like, let me be a part of the law of the firm. I want to be a part of the firm. That's probably what. Let's run it back. Let's see how it looks. Ready?
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
I'm digging it. I'm digging that. I'm digging it. Just he wants to be a partner. He's not in yet, but he wants to be. Maybe mid-season we make him a partner. Maybe mid-season we make him a partner.
Let him cook.
Maybe it becomes a quad. The point here is this. I don't want to hear somebody say, Smitty, but I thought you liked Hendy and Hunter better than Hampton. It's about what you can get away with. If Hunter climbed in 3, I'd take him in 3. If Hampton fell to 4, I'd take him in 4. And you might be able to get him in grandma leagues in 4. So you got to take what you can get. You got to take what you can get. 4 horsemen. You know, I mean, this is the 4 horsemen, but I mean, we could convert the 4 horsemen into those monsters. Honestly, actually, it could be the running backs. It could be the 4 rookie running backs. They're truly the 4 horsemen. I don't even know if this makes sense anymore. Let's see, top 5 wide receiver or Genty. You know what? Let's turn this into the 4 horsemen. It won't be Hunter involved. It'll be the running backs. Genty, Hampton, Harvey, and Hendy. That will be the 4 horsemen moving forward. It's a good. Who said that? Who said the 4 horsemen? D-Town. Let's convert the 4 horsemen into those bad boys. I think that makes sense. They're just such an amazing rookie class. But we're talking the 3rd to 4th round if we're lucky. If we're lucky, we're getting 3rd to 4th round, 4th round. If we're lucky, 3rd round is what we have to pay. And he's worth it. Now, was he more of a 4th rounder? So he has climbed, but I, Smitty, approve the new price tag, and I'll continue to buy at the new pricing. Hampton, Smitty approved from round 3 all day long.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Real quickly, without getting into crazy amount of time on this, I'm going to say really, really briefly, Krosky Merritt has climbed, a little bit, but not enough. Krosky Merritt, did I love him at his very ridiculous free value? Yes. Do I love him at his still pretty much free value? Yes. Could he win a league for you? Potentially. Will he cost you anything by investing? No. So he's Smitty approved. Very easy.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Scatterboo. This is a tough one because, my heart says he's going to be amazing, but could it take a little bit of time? Sure. But does it matter that it's going to take some time? Not really, because the cost of entry is beautiful. Scatterboo's got a ADP of 103 overall in redraft. And Dynasty might be a little bit higher, but not that much. Maybe 10, 15, 20 spots. Who knows? It's hard to say. When I say who knows, it's not because I don't know Dynasty ADP. It's because when someone says, hey, Smitty, I got this Dynasty ADP I found, none of it's the same. It's so different from league to league, format to format, the size. There's so many things that could go 100 different ways. And some people draft for the now. Is it super flex? Is it not? Like, there's just no real way. Dynasty it varies way too much between different formats. And so to say that that Scatterboo's, pick 70 in Dynasty, he might be picked 90 in some random league, especially when you're looking at ADP data this late in any draft, whether it's Dynasty or redraft. The suggested rank guides a lot of people that don't know football. Very few people walk in and they're very versed right now, especially with Dynasty leagues drafting early. They're not very versed in knowing the players that are in the hundreds. They just go off the suggested rank a lot of the time. So am I Smitty approving this 103 value? You bet your bottom dollar. You're talking about him being above Sharbs. I like Sharbs better. Okay. But Tracy, Najee, who's a cuff, a nuisance, but a cuff. Javonte, I like Javonte. I'm cheering for him, but am I drafting Scatterboo over him? Yeah. Am I drafting Charbonnet over Javonte? Yeah, but I'm rooting for him. Tootin I like. You could very much argue Tootin with Scatterboo. I'd almost take Tootin in more leagues than I take Scatterboo right now, but that could change too. I love both of them. Ray Davis, we love. Jaden Blue, I like a lot. While we're on the topic of Jaden Blue, I'll just lump him together with Scatterboo and with Tootin. So Tootin, Blue, Scat, and really those are the players that are really close together at about 100. I would say about 100 to 130 ADP. And they're all the same. They're all Smitty approved at this. They're low risk. They can win you a league. This is about as low risk as it gets. This is about as low risk as it gets. And they all can return top 12. Not saying they all will, but they all could. One of these guys could be a sneaky top 12 to 15 running back. Not saying it's guaranteed, but one of them, they all have the chance to be that. And you're getting them in the hundreds. These are all Smitty approved. There's not a single player here I'm sitting here going, oh, you climbed too high. They could climb another 10, 12 picks, 20 picks, and I won't care. I'll still check mark this bad boy. All three are Smitty approved.
You've just been Smitty approved.
BBQ gifted memberships like a monster already. Let me see what we got here. BBQ, we got 220 of you in the building. Please hit that thumb up button and subscribe if you're new. BBQ with 50 gifted memberships. You straight up monster. You beast. You super chat machine. You maverick. You super chatting gifted membership maverick. BBQ. To the moon. To the moon. To Mars.
To Mars!
Smitty, everybody's pretty. I don't even know why they're getting.
Those that that weren't here for the scooter live streams, we've upgraded the experience. We're now electric moped live streams. I don't know if we'll do it tonight or not. I'm not sure, but get ready for it. Can't wait. Thank you, BBQ, for gifting those memberships, and get ready for the moped live streams. I can't wait for it. It's going to be so fun. Scattaboo, look at him. Just a monster. Again, if I miss anybody, we'll go over it over the phone line. You know, I'm sure some of you will ask me, hey, Smitty, what do you think about, like, you know, we'll go Samson. The value is the cost of entry is 0. The upside is huge. So of course, I Smitty approve his value 100%. Caleb Johnson, look, he's still a solid value. Caleb Johnson is going a little higher than the other guys we just Smitty approved, but not by that much. You know, Quinshawn Judkins and Caleb Johnson are kind of going, let me get rid of Samson. Samson's 0 cost. There's 0 risk. He's fantastic as your last running back on your bench. You don't have to buy him anything crazy at all. But Judkins and Judkins and Johnson are 2 very, very solid players. I like Judkins a lot more than I like Johnson. Number one, I just think they're more sold on his role being, for sure, first and second down. I think Samson's going to become a problem and make him a little one-dimensional. Both these guys can be one-dimensional because of the other players on the roster in Jalen Warren and mixed with Arthur Smith, mixed with a vanilla offense. That's what makes me feel like there's a limiter on Johnson's value. But then again, when we're talking about 75, 80 overall, and that's in a shark environment. I think in grandma leagues, they might both go 80 plus. I just don't think people are going to know them that much. So I like both of them. I really do. They're both very, very good investments in best ball. They're both very good investments in non-best ball and home leagues. There's nothing wrong with their values at 70 to 85. These are potential league winners. But if they climb higher, I might be out. They're perfectly placed right now. And that's the first time you've heard me say that about some of these guys, right? That I've talked positively about. If Buka climbs, good. I'm fine with it. I'll still buy him. Hunter climbs another round into the 3rd round, I'm all in. You know, if Hendy climbs from round 5 to 4, I'm still all in. If Hampton climbs to the 3.1, I don't know about 2nd round, but we'll take it as it comes. If Hampton climbed from the 3-4 turn to 3.1, I'm all in. I'm still all in. Shador climbs into the, you could say like the 25 to 30 quarterback range in best ball. As a 3rd quarterback, I'm in. I'm still in. Milrow, I'm in even no matter what. I'm in with Milrow. But these 2 guys, if they climb, I will be out. I love them here. I love them at their current 70 to 85 overall ADP. They can smash, but they do have 2 kind of thorns in the side. And I think Judkins has a little bit more command of his ship. I think, you know, Caleb Johnson, I'm excited for him, but we need injuries. And I'm not saying I'm wishing injury upon anybody, but we need injuries for these guys to have their lone backfields to themselves. I'm not going to hit the tight ends, but other than to say that in terms of like putting them on screen, I'm just going to quickly gloss over and say that Loveland, he's climbing way too high. And I just think that the tight end position moves along slower in terms of growth and maturity. And he's in a crowded room. I want nothing to do with his ADP. It's too high. Warren, on the other hand, is the only show in town. They're going to be throwing to him in college. Like Loveland, he was a lot of design plays, but he's going to get fed a lot. And I think he's worth the cost of entry. He's the only player in Indy that I would buy. I wouldn't even take JT. JT's too high of a cost for me. Too much of a risk. But Tyler Warren, I like a lot. As far as QBs, I love Cam Ward. Cam Ward is climbing fast on the rankings and ADP, and it's deservedly, deserving, at least so, the situation. He deserves every bit of it. Cam Ward looks fantastic. This is potentially, not guaranteed, but a top 10 QB even as a rookie in fantasy, potentially, or he flirts with it. Maybe he has that 10 to, 14 dancing around that territory for QBs. I think he has a better season than Caleb Williams. As a rookie, I think he has a better season than Caleb Williams. So that's how I feel about that. And as far as other QBs, you can bring them up on the phone line. If I missed anybody, there's certainly wide receivers that we could talk about. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Those are all the rookies that I believe need to be talked about, at least right now. Their values have changed. How I feel about the values changing, and whether I would buy even if they climbed higher. So if you missed any of that, you're just joining us right now. We get 221 of you in here. Only 68 thumbs up. Smash that thumb up button if you could, and improve upon those rookie numbers right there. 69 thumbs up. Smash it. Do it live, and we'll take some phone calls here right now. But let me read this super chat real quickly. Hang tight for me, boys. Let me get this phone merged here. Let me answer these calls and merge them. Guys, mute yourself real quickly if I'm adding you to the phone line, and then I'll swing around and calling you one by one. Let me just read the super chat from Wolfman. Wolfman says, Smitty, in your opinion, who will win Offensive Player of the Year? I don't know, bro. JD5. I'd say JD5. I'd say Rookie of the Year is going to be... It's probably going to be Hunter or Genty. If it was going to be a surprise player, I would say... like Cam Ward could win it. You know, I think there's a chance that one of the other RBs. But as far as Offensive Player of the Year, I'd probably say I'm going to say JD5 or, yeah, I'm going to say JD5. Gibbs would be a good one. Bijan. If I was to throw an Offensive Player of the Year surprise out there, I mean, you guys know I love Knicks. Knicks could be a deep call. But I'd probably say, you know, Josh Allen will be in the mix. I think JD5. I think the Eagles struggle a little bit. I think Mahomes will be in the mix, whether people like it or not. And Bo Nix will be in the mix. I think, you know, the top three running backs could certainly be in the mix. If Barkley repeats, you know, what he did last year and stays healthy, then he'll obviously be in the mix. Christian McCaffrey is going to try and be comeback player of the year, but I don't know if that's going to work. We'll hit the phone lines, and if anybody has their suggestion for comeback player of the year, you can go ahead and drop it. Let me go over to the phone caller that's been sitting there the longest, and then over to Ron Navy. The first phone caller sitting there the longest was, I believe, 586. What's your name and where are you calling from, 586? We might have a phone issue. Hold on a second. Let me turn on the speaker. Hold on a second, boys. Hold on a second. All right, we should be good now. Okay, 586. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Matt from Detroit.
What's up, Matt? What can I do for you, bro?
I recently watched your video. It's a few weeks old about ranking all the handcuffs as well, and we're talking about rookies, and I'm also thinking about running back handcuffs.
Which I haven't completed the board yet, by the way. It's not sorted yet, but go ahead.
When I'm thinking about drafting, you know, you're talking about Tootin this year. You really like. Different guys like that. And I've had opportunities. I have an opportunity now. Like, are you drafting Jordan Mason as a stand? Like, I don't have Aaron Jones, but would you draft Jordan Mason as a standalone running back depth for your team over Garendo or Tootin if you have all of them on the board still and you could pick from a few of those guys?
I could, for sure. The ADP value for Mason, and he's a midseason monster, but as is Garendo, as is Tootin. So we're talking about all midseason monsters. Let me merge this call real quickly. So they're all three midseason monsters. I love them all. The value of Jordan Mason looks like it's about 95 overall. Tootin's going right around 120. And, you know, even Blue, guy like Blue, Garendo, 140, Blue's in the 130s. So Mason commands the higher pick. So I guess this is almost one of those things where it's a trick question, because the answer is you're drafting, you can get all of them. Their ADP allows you to get all of them. So the answer should always be, well, I'd take Mason first because I have to. If I want all of them, I can get them all. Like, you shouldn't walk out. But if you have limited spots, let's say, you only have 5-6 running back spots, then you do have to make some choices. I think it depends on a lot of things. What's your bill look like? How are you built right now? Can you take a gamble on that Tootin might not get a lot of work until week 7 or something because ETN and Bigsby and there's a pecking order there. Mason probably gets work right away. So if you need more security out of the pick, you could go Mason. If you could have as big a bench as you want at RB, and I create a running back room, bro. I have like 8 running backs on my roster a lot of the time. I always do that. But if you have limitations, you probably need to go Mason more and then have to skip on those guys later. Like, how hard is it to hold Garendo and Tootin, when you can only have 4 bench running backs? It's hard. So it just depends on a lot of different questions.
Dynasty. So I have a lot more bench spots too. I've got like 6.
Then draft them all.
Bench spots, so I can stash these guys.
Yeah. I just, if I had to pick one of Garendo, Tootin, or Mason, I'd probably say Tootin. If I had to pick one in Dynasty. Because that's who Liam Cohen drafted. He wanted him for a reason. So you got to wonder what's in store for him. Is it is he going to be his Bucky? It's certainly possible, bro. Don't write off Jaden Blue there as well, though.
Yeah, I like that. Thanks, Smitty. That was my question. Just curious about that.
Yeah.
I know those are all kind of handcuffed mid-season monsters.
Yeah.
So when you have all of them, that's
all right,
a good
bro.
point.
Appreciate you. All right, let me go over to Ron Navy. Ron Navy, you're live. Hello?
Hey, what's up, Smitty?
What's up?
I had to take myself off of mute, so.
No problem.
Sorry.
No problem. What's going on? What do you got? What do you hear? What do you say?
Yeah. I like the 4 horsemen idea. I know when you first said that mid-season, but like by mid-season it'll be too late for us to do anything because we'll already have our team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, while you're talking, I'll change it out. I'll change it out. 4 horsemen. Okay, go ahead.
So I think, I've been really critical of the Steelers so far this year, of course. But I actually really think that the one positive thing I think is Caleb's going to be really big. I think he's going to have a monster year. I think he'll be the one that fits the system the best, and I think he will flourish this year.
He could. I like Caleb Johnson a lot at the cost of entry. But like I said, if he climbs, then I might be, it depends on where he climbs, but I might be a little bit more reluctant to take him. Right now, he's a fantastic value. Right now, it doesn't. I find myself drafting more of Judkins and Caleb than I was earlier in the offseason, and I don't mind it at the cost of entry right now. But if they climb, it'd definitely be a different thing for me. But this is this crew right here, this 4 horsemen, that looks fantastic. Now the 4 horsemen is different than the HHH and Associates and the intern. That's Hampton as well, but this one, the 4 horsemen is just the 4 RBs. Hampton, there we go. And this is the year of the rookie RBs. I mean, this is a class that's just unreal. I mean, it's very similar to the wide receiver class last year in terms of how much value is going to get injected into this, fantasy football running back pool. It's going to be crazy.
Doesn't it remind you of when? The running back season when Walker and Brees and all them came out. It has the same vibe.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely probably better, but yeah, similar expectation. All right, there we go. Yeah. We got Hendy. No real particular order. It's kind of goes in terms of ADP. Well, Hendy's going higher than Harvey now, so I'll move them over. It's kind of going by ADP, really, of what you can get away with. So we'll put Hendy here. We'll put Harvey here. So these are the 4 horsemen. And Genty is the leader. All right, what else you got, Ron, before I cycle around the phone line? You can stay on mute, but...
No, that's it. That's all I got.
All right.
Move on now, and
Okay.
I'll do the show.
Okay.
Call in.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Travis, you're live. Later.
Yeah, just kind of touching on what Ron was saying. I think think this year is one of those years where we could see, multiple rookies at each position even into the top. Like, aside from running back, there wasn't like elite prospect off the bat. If you look at the way things are shaping out, where players went, especially with running back, I think more than maybe not all top 10, but top 15. You can see more than usual filling that out. Plus the game is kind of going that way in young man's game now. Every year you get more guys breaking up earlier.
Yeah, these running backs are monsters. 4 horsemen. Good idea, D-Town, because that 4 horsemen thing wasn't working anymore anyway. Like the ADPs had changed all around. So 4 horsemen, and then just to make it clear, the HHH and Associates has a potential intern that's trying to become a partner.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Let me in. Let me in. Let me be a partner. Hampton's trying. All right, what else you got?
But Fedora, I mean, what's up to now with Turkey? Take a big step back. I think he's going to force it. Preseason comes around.
How stupid.
He looks good on top of being a good, a good teammate.
How stupid. I mean, even though they got him, like, somebody could say how smart of the Browns to get him after Gabriel and as late as they did. It was so stupid, though, to wait, because he could have went at any moment. And I hate that people are giving the Browns credit for picking him as much as saying that, yeah, I mean, it's like I can't even think of a good example. It's like walking down the street with a lightning rod and not getting. Yeah.
The fucking
and they haven't exactly said he's our guy. They've been like, well, we'll see if So like, I almost give the Browns very little credit in some respects, but it will be amazing for Browns fans because he is the guy. He's the guy, and I can't wait to watch everybody doubt him all the way. They're going to be people that literally, they're just going to be like, Homer Simpson, and they're just going to go back into the bushes and then pretend they never said anything negative about Shador, and it's going to be laughable. Going to be straight up laughable watching everybody act like they didn't put receipts out there.
I wonder, too, what if the Browns had any more picks, because that was their last pick. So they had to take him in the draft. What if they had a 6 or a 7? They keep pushing, kicking the can down the road, and he goes somewhere else.
I just don't know what Liam Cohen was thinking, not grabbing him at some point and saying, look, if T-Law doesn't work, and if T-Law can't handle the Shador Sanders shadow, with all the doubt that was around Shador at the time too, if he can't fend that off, then Trevor Lawrence isn't the guy anyway. Like, if he can't weather that storm. And for Liam Cohen not to be like, look, this is going to be a very good safety net for me. And it also gives, if there's injury or something, like if Trevor Lawrence suffers injury, you can still win. And having these two players linked together is an unbelievable opportunity. These guys love each other.
A lot of people would disagree, but if I was the Giants, I would fly around in the later round.
Anybody should. All 32 teams should have been looking at it in round 2 and round 3, and the teams that passed in round 4 should have been looking at it in round 4. I mean, it was crazy. It was ridiculous. But it is what it is. I can't wait to see Shador. Let me circle around the phone lines just because we got a packed phone line. People are dropping off. Hold on one second, Travis. I'll come right back to you. Let's see here. Kevin, you're live, and then over to the 704 caller after that. Kevin, go ahead.
Hold on, Smitty. Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it first and foremost.
Yeah.
The show. And what I want to say, I need some advice here. Did a dynasty startup with my friends, 12 teams. There's 2 super flex spots and 2 tight end spots, and 2 points per reception for tight ends. And I was from the 112 spot. It's a slow draft. and I traded away the 312 and the 4-1 pick and a 2026 second round pick for the 2-3 pick and a 5-3 pick. And we're 2 rounds in, and so far my team is Bo Nix, Drake May, and Trey McBride.
Okay.
Is there any way I can navigate this to make this worth the trade?
Okay, what did you trade again?
This round could be like the 3rd round.
Okay, so tell me what the trade was one more time.
Dynasty startup, I traded away the 312 and the 4-1 pick and a 2026 second rounder.
Okay.
For the 2-3 pick and the 5-3 pick. So far we're 2 rounds in, and the 3 players I got from the 112, 2-1, and 2-3 spots were Bo Nix, Drake May, and Trey McBride.
Okay.
2 super flex spots, 2 tight end spots.
Well, I mean, you're good at QB, so the good news is everybody's going to still consume QB if they're there, and that'll buy you some time to get some of these players that probably shouldn't fall. Dynasty, I love receivers a little bit more than RBs because of the longevity, but it doesn't mean I'm passing on a monster RB. What RBs are available and how many picks away are you?
So right now my next pick is a 5-2. We are 2 rounds in, so we're just in the beginning of the 3rd round.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to.
My next pick is 5-3. We're 3-3, so I'm like 20 picks away.
Okay, so just give me it's gonna be hard to help you here. You almost have to call them when you're on the clock, but give me an idea based on the ADPs what players are gonna be around, and let me tell you what I would probably do, and you can apply it to other players if they're available that shouldn't be. But go ahead and tell me, like, projection wise, what are we looking at?
Like Travis Hunter, Rasheed Rice would probably be available when my pick is up again. Running backs that'd be available: Chase Brown, Travion Henderson. Let me go into.
I like Harvey later too because he might fall. So try and get Harvey with your pick after the 5.3. I'd probably say if this was me, I would probably go Travis Hunter of these 4 guys. But I love Hendy. I love Chase Brown. I love Rasheed Rice. I think they're all fantastic. I'm not really worried about stacking, in non-best ball. So I'm not like sitting here going, oh, Hendy and May will be perfect. I'm not worried about stacking at all in non-best ball. I'd probably go Hunter if it were me. It's, is it risky? Yeah, I mean, there's some risk with Hunter, but there's also top 5 wide receiver upside. So I'm all about it. That's what I would do. And if you could walk away with a Kyron because he's older and people are scared of him or whatever.
That'd be like Kyron range.
Yeah, the next pick.
Players, it's going to be like 3rd round equivalent by the time it's my pick.
Well, if
quarterbacks are flying.
Yeah, so if the 6th round pick, if you can get a Kyron or a Harvey or somebody as your RB, I'm feeling pretty good. The fact that you have no wide receivers yet makes Hunter even more attractive. And while I'm worried about running backs getting scooped up, I'm probably more worried about wide receivers getting scooped up. So I'd probably make Hunter this pick. But you'd have to call me back when you're on the clock or something, or hit me tonight. How fast is the draft moving? Is it like are you going to be on the clock in a day or 2 days?
Or 2.
Okay.
Slow.
So you should be able to hit me back tomorrow. Yeah.
With the start.
Yeah.
Is that a good start, Bo Nix, Trey McBride?
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, do I think the trade was worth Drake May? I like Drake May a lot. I do. Is he like? I would have made this move for Nix. May I'm intrigued by. But the thing is, the 5.3 and 4.1 might not be a big difference. So at the end of the day, it's not going to matter.
Yeah,
I think you could be okay. So if you get
2-3 was McBride.
Like if you get Hunter, 2.3 was McBride. Okay, yeah, and tight end premium, then I think you crushed the trade. Because at the end of the day, I think Hunter and the player that you could get at 4.1 might not be that different. I like Hunter. I probably want to take Hunter in the 3rd round and just wait. So I'm fine with it. If you got McBride and his tight end premium, you crushed the trade then. You shouldn't have got him that late.
2 tight ends and tight end premium.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, these are 2 good quarterbacks. I mean, look, Drake May and Nix could both be top 8 quarterbacks. It's possible. It certainly is. They're very, very good. Yeah, I like it. But
that was the dice roll I took.
But knowing you got McBride with that 2.3, I love the trade now. So good job. All right, call me back tomorrow.
Like that. Where do you draw tight ends when it's such a huge, like a 2-point PPR, 2 tight ends? Where do you draw the line and take a Travis Hunter instead of whatever tight end is left?
I don't know, man. It's kind of case by case. I don't know that it's something that I can even. BBQ, I'm going to come to get your Super Chats handled right here in 1 second. I think it's one of those things where it's like, I need to see the board. This is like my chess example where it's like, hey, what do you do, 8 moves in the chess game? It's like, I could say something, but it's going to be made up. I need to see the board. But I would say in this environment, McBride in a tight end premium at 2, well, I guess he went probably around where you would expect him to go, 2.3, but that's really good. And it's not just like half a point, it's a full point. So McBride's getting 2 PPR and everybody else is getting 1 PPR, so that's awesome. And the problem is when you make it tight end premium and super flex, you're almost taking running backs a little bit down a notch, and then it's then you got to consider what running backs can catch footballs, and then you can make up for maybe going late running back shopping because a guy especially a guy like Breece Hall who people want to run from in redraft. Breece Hall has got a 4.1 ADP in redraft. In a redraft super flex, he's probably got a 5th round value. In a dynasty super flex tight end premium, I imagine he's at least in round 6. So for the guy listening, Kevin, if Hall's there at the 6th round pick, you smash the hell out of that too. You get Hunter and Hall with your next 2 picks, you're cruising. Absolutely cruising. All right, real quick, Travis, let me get to this guy. 704, you're live. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, I'm Shane from Virginia. Thank you for taking my call, Smitty.
No problem, Shane.
I just wanted to ask you, so I got a big league coming up later on. It's going to be full PPR, 1 quarterback, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, and a flex. But prepare for that, I also joined 2 other leagues that I recently drafted. So kind of just wanted to see what team of these 2 that you kind of prefer, and that'll kind of help me prepare for that big league.
All right.
So if you don't mind, I'll go real quick. First team.
Don't give me the bench. Don't give me the bench. Just give me the starters. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just do the starters. Team 1, Bryce Young, Jahmyr Gibbs, R.J. Harvey, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Xavier Worthy, Brenton Strange, and Hendy. Team 2, I got Bryce Young, Jahmyr Gibbs, Hampton, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Calvin Ridley.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hampton, Garrett Wilson, JSN again.
On team 2, yep.
Ridley. I mean, there's yeah. And then who's?
And then R.J. Harvey in the flex.
Okay.
So the main difference is obviously in the first team, I took Worthy in round 4. And then in team 2, I went with Hampton in round 4.
Why? Yeah, we don't need to write out both teams. You just need to tell me, what do I like better, Ridley and Hampton or Worthy and Harvey? Or Worthy and Hendy. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't like. Why is Bryce Young your quarterback? Are you a Panthers fan?
No, I always like to wait for quarterbacks super late. I probably could have taken one a little earlier, but I've been burned with early QB.
Well, I like Bryce Young, but I mean, bro, he's a good second quarterback, but I don't know if I'd be rolling with Bryce Young as my starter. I'd like him here.
Quarterback early.
Yeah, like go
Yeah,
down. Go.
in both leagues I got Ibuka on my bench.
I mean, go Bo Nix, bro. Bo Nix is Go Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a top 5 QB upside, bro. Honestly, like I think Hendy and Hampton's very close. I mean, I lean Hampton because you can draft him ahead of Hendy and still get Hendy like a round later. So it's hard to even evaluate these two players. Like, if anything, just give me Hendy and Hampton. You know?
Okay.
I like Worthy better than Ridley. So I like Worthy better than Ridley. I like Hendy and Hampton equal, but I like Hendy and Hampton probably, you know, I love that. You've got JSN, you've got Garrett Wilson. I mean, I could go Worthy instead of one of them, I suppose, sure. But I like Rice more if Rice were cheaper, and it depends on who you're drafting with. Sometimes Rice goes in the 3rd round. He's going at the 2-3 turn right now and best ball. In other drafts, he's going in the 4th round where Worthy's going anyway, or the 5th round. Who else was on the clock when Worthy was there? And why is Ridley in this position anyway? Like Gibbs, Harvey, JSN, Garrett Wilson, Hendy, and Hampton.
The order.
Well, hold on. Let me just. Yeah, well, hold on. I don't need the whole order. I'm just saying, like, these are all lining up except for Worthy and Ridley. You know, like, I feel like you're taking Ridley way too early somewhere because all these other guys are on your roster. So I like Ridley, but I don't.
Ridley 6th round in this draft, and I took Harvey 5th round.
Yeah. I'm not a super big fan of Ridley that early. I don't mind Ridley, but I don't think I'm taking him around 6. But hey, to each their own. You don't like Debo at all. I like Debo. Maybe you hate Debo. It's fine. I'd rather have Debo than Ridley personally, but yeah, it's good.
I was just, like I said, wondering mainly with the RB structure. As you can tell,
one thing I'll tell you too, though,
I like to take
is you said these are 2 leagues you've already done.
These are the 2 that I've already done, and like I said,
why you
PPR, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex.
So why are you gonna just
later
triple down on the same process in 3 different leagues, bro?
Because this one is more of these 2 that I'm playing in, they're not as much big money leagues. The one that's coming up is where it's a big money entry league, and I want to make sure that I kind of nailed it.
I guess, but I mean, I would have tried to mix things up so that an injury doesn't take out your entire team. You know what I mean? But anyway, get a better quarterback. Don't go Young. Young's good as a backup. I'm fine with that. I like Young a lot. I'm rooting for him. He's a good kid, but I think you're dining at a fine dining restaurant. You're bringing chicken nuggets in a napkin and putting it on the table. I'm not saying Bryce Young can't surprise or anything, but this is a team that's built to win, and you need a better quarterback. And there's nothing wrong with early quarterback. You may have missed on it, but Mahomes is going around 6-7. He's no longer. You give me Mahomes over Ridley, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Go get another wide receiver. Go get Ibuka later. Give me Ibuka over Ridley, and Ibuka is going way later, and you take Mahomes or Bo Nix instead of Bryce Young. You know? Who cares about Ridley?
I have Ibuka on my bench on both teams.
Okay, so you don't need Ridley. So, yeah, go get a quarterback.
And I'll draft Ridley and just get a
Yeah.
Okay, and last question. So you prefer the Harvey and...
It's the same team. Man, I don't know.
The rookies you like more are Hendy and Hampton?
I don't know. I don't like Ridley, so obviously the Ridley. I mean, I like Ridley, but not here in the 6th round. The Ridley team loses to the other team, but I wouldn't mind Hampton over Worthy if you got like Ibuka and players like that are falling. Like give me Debo later, and he might even fall into the 7th round or something later, and then you could get Hendy and Hampton somehow, or I don't know. All right, bro.
Okay, perfect. Or Harvey. All right, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Love the show.
Thanks. I don't know. He's definitely a man of repetition. he eats at the same restaurant every day. It's my 3rd league. They're identical. And when you're drafting the same team, like identical, you're reaching in some spots, or there's no way you could get that done. So I don't know. I guess if those are really cheap leagues and he doesn't care about them and he's just practicing, it makes sense. But anyway, what's up, Travis? Yeah. Hey, let me get these super chats by BBQ out real quick, and then I'll
Yeah, I was going to say.
Missed, let's see here. BBQ, appreciate you, bro. Caleb is going to get all the rushing work. They can feed him, but Warren is an elite pass protector and will get the majority of the third down work pass, bro. Yeah, that's the concern. Not concern at cost of entry, though, you know. So I agree with you. Caleb Johnson on a lot of best ball teams lately for me because of the cost of entry. But again, because of Warren, because of Arthur Smith, because of a vanilla offense, and you wonder how good Najee's going to be now that he's out of that environment. But these things concern me enough to say if his ADP climbs, I'm a little bit curious whether I'll still be in. If it climbs a lot, I'm out. But if it climbs a little bit, we'll see. But yeah, Caleb's very, very good. BBQ, another one. In my opinion, Puka is due for positive TD regression and will score 10 to 12 TDs. Puka looks great in camp. Put on some muscle. He's taking care of his body. He's also learning a lot from Adams, which is good. But I would say, you know, positive regression, sure. 12 TDs, 10 TDs. I don't know if I could see that personally with Adams in town. And Stafford hasn't exactly been, you know, a touchdown machine. And Kyron's going to be running great because of the fact that the passing attack is going to keep defenses honest. So, and McVay prefers to run when he's near the goal line. So now that he can do it effectively and not have to resort to trying to figure out other ways with a stacked box, you might see Kyron gobble up 12, 13, 14 rushing touchdowns this year. But we'll see. I think Puka's definitely can get better than he's been getting. I mean, he's got 9 on 28 games. Puka Nacua has still yet to have double-digit touchdowns on his career. He's hovering at 9 right now off 28 play games. It's crazy. So, yeah, regression, positive regression probably, but I don't know. I still worry about him getting banged up. But it's good points. And BBQ said this last one, missed the Rashid Rice show. Info on that show regarding ADP with straight facts and fire. Love the content. Really appreciate the show and community. Thank you, BBQ, for dropping 3 straight super chats. $5, $5, $5, and 50 gifted memberships. You are going to Mars, young man.
To Mars!
All right, Travis, final thoughts. I'll be back tonight. Subscribe if you're new.
Yeah, just quick in the chat. EDB was asking, you got offered Jalen Hurts for Mahomes and Brian Robinson at Dynasty Superflex. Side would you come down on?
I mean, I don't really care too much about Brian Robinson, but I mean, look, Hurts scores a lot of fantasy points, even if he's throwing badly. It doesn't matter. But I think what I'm going to say here might shock some people. It's not that I want Hurts more. I think I could trade Hurts for more than Mahomes. I want more than this. If I'm taking Mahomes, you can get away with more. This Brian Robinson garbage, what are we doing here? Okay.
Right.
No, you might have said it right. So part of me, this is the way I'm kind of thinking, is like, if you're a risk the biscuit kind of guy, part of me is thinking you can then grab Hurts and turn him into something more. But it's hard to trade quarterbacks in leagues, man. So you got to know your own league. You might not be able to trade them at all. But would I rather turn this and flip this into Knicks and Travis Hunter, Knicks and Harvey, Knicks and Breece Hall? Yes. So if you can maybe in the background set up a trade, I quietly like Mahomes better in Dynasty. I think that if the tush push gets eventually eliminated, this man's going to lose some value. And he's going to get banged up over the course of time in the tush push, situation. He's always injured. Sirianni lies about it all the time. I'd rather have Mahomes but quietly, but the craftiness in me would say, if I can get Hurts and flip Hurts into Knicks and Breece Hall, try and do a deal in the background, bro. 2 deals, line them up and see. It's hard to do, but Ron just did it in a league where I traded him Burrow when he had Lamar, 1 QB, and he set up the Lamar deal, executed it, then accepted my deal, and he was able to get it done. So try it out. All right, anything else?
The video you just did with Knicks trading Hurts for Knicks and another team. It's a good video to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the last thing was in Dynasty, would you prefer Trey Harris, Keon Coleman, or Shakir?
Harris, Coleman, or Shakir? I'd say Coleman, then Harris, then Shakir. Who could be safer this year? Probably Shakir. So 1 year redraft safety Shakir. Dynasty or maybe high risk, I'm going Coleman. Trey Harris, I don't know what he's going to be able to do in a limited passing attack environment where he's not the number one and never will be the number one. So Coleman at least could be the number one, and I'm still not letting go of the fact that we saw something special develop last offseason, and it just crumbled. And he's such an athletic player. He's so athletic. He's big, monster. He can if he learns the spatial awareness. I'm really excited about Coleman right now, and the fact that he's playing hurt for the majority of the year last year, and I'm just really hopeful that Josh Allen's going to take to him. It comes down to Josh Allen. You can't reject. Coleman's in Oregon being donated into this environment, and Josh Allen's the one that rejects the organ or not. So accept the kidney. Take it, Josh. Coleman's ready. All right, I'll be back tonight. Travis, later, bro. Appreciate you. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Yes, go draft Shador as your super flex. Joe, of course, watch the beginning of the show where I talk about it, specifically that topic. So go do it. Get him on your team. I picked him up everywhere I can. Appreciate all your questions. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the 50 gifted memberships, BBQ. That boy, Wolfman, BBQ times 3. I know something else times 3 that has a 4th trying to get into the club.
In a jam, call HHH and Associates.
Triple H and Associates. Locations on Earth and Jupiter.
Let me in. I want to be a partner. My name's Marion Hampton. Let me in. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's what this show is right here. I'm live every single Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm also live whenever big news breaks. And I'm also live most midnights Eastern. See you probably midnight tonight. Deuces. Hit that subscribe button on the way out the door. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. See you later. Appreciate you all.